And a big,
Hello and welcome back. We have a big game for you guys right now between Monash Sirens and Angry Apes. How's your break, Mr. Penguin Domo?
my break was amazing, Eric. How was yours?
Yeah, it's okay. Like I told you before, I did dislocate my shoulder, so now the stream knows as well, and it's still dislocated. So hopefully after the stream, I can go to the hospital.
Well, that sounds like a great idea, and I am currently thinking why you didn't do that beforehand, but you know what? These games are more important than any of our health.
The shoulder issues count as health. I've been told, if you keep, having your shoulder pop in and out, you may get arthritis, so that's not great either.
That is very true. But going into the more important thing than our health issues, the game has now started into the ban phase. We see a Udia ban first, and then an Aatrox ban, and also a Seraphine ban. A very special ban, I would say, since these champions are extremely meta in high elo tournaments, especially the Seraphine and Udia.
Yep, there'd be some cool champs that are pretty strong. Pretty easy to play. I think that's kind of what I like about champions like Udi and Seraphine. You just you don't need to worry about all the like bells and whistles. You just play the game, and if your understanding of the game is pretty good, you're gonna pop off. You're gonna do well.
It also doesn't help that Seraphine is a broken champion to begin with all the buffs she's been
All right,
getting, and
you
only a
can
few nerfs since
you,
release.
you can just say that word. All right, just throw out the broken word.
To be fair, she is an incredibly powerful champion, and I'm surprised that I haven't seen her in most of the games of today's tournament. But also getting the Syndra and Kai'Sa bans, the Kai'Sa being a very popular ADC, but the Syndra ban being a little bit weird. It could be a target ban.
Yeah, I I think three of those bans so far are targeted. We do see Seraphine picked a lot for Sirens and two mid laners that we see Squishy play a lot. Squishy is the carry of the Sirens team, so that's I guess that's why we see those bans and Squishy just picking Oriana for herself.
A first pick Oriana is extremely risky, but the Silas ban coming out, they could just counterpick the Oriana here. There is not much flexibility besides the mid lane for her.
Who
Besides maybe as a APC bot lane or as the support, but I highly doubt that.
Oriana jungle, 100%.
I hope to the Lord it is not that getting the Sejuani pick in. The Sejuani being an extremely tanky jungler, but someone I haven't seen in a long time. Maybe with Chem Tank or one of the new mythics.
I play Sejuani a fair bit, and I just don't worry about what I build. It's just whatever mythic you go, and you go support items from there. So I'll just build like, What's that item where you get health and you get armor? You combine it together and you buff your teammate. You make your teammate less
Knight's
damagey.
Vow?
Knight's Vow, that's that item. You get Knight's Vow, you get Redemption, and you play like support Sedge, but you're still tanky as heck. That's the Sedge build.
Well, it's definitely an interesting build. But going to the game, we now have the Lucian pick coming out, an extremely scary pick that can go both top, mid, and bot. They're gonna have to be careful that they don't accidentally counterpick here. And Deluxe coming out, and maybe another Kane?
The
Will we
hover is
see two?
going.
Will we see two Kane games in a row? And we see the second game where a Lux Oriana Kane just being picked out. And a Nautilus coming out. This is a guaranteed super tanky frontline, but Ooh, a
Leona?
Leona.
That might work even better. Leona does synergize really well with Sejuani, getting those procs down.
The Leona does make it an extremely strong Storm comp, but that just makes me think, is this actually going to be a Lucian bot lane into just a standard kill lane? Incredible power coming out of both Lucian and Leona early, and they could try and get a cheese kill. But we will see who they ban here and see where these champs are going. I'm assuming that is either a Lux support or a Lux mid. Since there is Oriana, that's not much flexibility, actually.
So we see an Ornn ban here, and I expect to see another top lane ban to try take out that top champ pool. Maybe something like a not a Nautilus. Why am I thinking Nautilus? Mountain
I would
Man. What is Mountain Man called? Why am I so bad?
Malphite?
Malphite. I'm really not good with names right now. I reckon it'll be a Malphite fan.
Okay, I actually do not like the Ornn ban that much. Not picking him early is one thing, but he is not that strong champion later. And the Malphite ban coming out, just banning these extremely tanky champions. The Galio coming out to stop it, going into Orianna, I assume. But what are they planning to bring top lane if they're just banning out the Ornn and Malphite? That would have to be an AD carry or
I mean, there's things
physical.
like Gragas.
The Jace ban coming out, which I'm not sure.
There's there's still a lot of top laners. There's Gragas, Camille. I don't
But
know.
it's just weird. The Jace ban doesn't really synergize with anything that they're showing. The Rise coming out and the whole entire. I'm actually confused now.
Like, okay, if I said the players were around like silver gold level, does that change your level of
That
confusion?
doesn't change anything. But it's like the Rise isn't a bad pick. None of these are bad picks. I'm
Just
just trying to see a game plan coming out, and the Rise just kind of. You want to get ahead early with the Lucian, and you want the Sejani Leona to just quickly engage early. They'll be tanky late game. But now the Garen coming out, and a Mordecai is a
wait,
witch.
where's that Mord going?
I
Wait,
do
where's
not
the
think.
Garen come in? Wait, no, yeah, that's the
Okay, it's
ADC. That
Ezreal
makes sense.
coming out.
Okay, I was like, huh?
So that is Garen top, Ezreal ADC, Orianna mid Lux support. This Ryze could go top lane and try and bully out this Garen, but I highly doubt it. The Camille coming out, the
Fiora?
Fiora. I actually really like this Fiora. If she can get ahead, Fiora can run over. Camille is the safer pick and the one that is getting picked. But I would have loved to see that Fiora coming out. The game plan for both teams seems to be completely different from the last game. A quick question, do you know which side belongs to which team?
Yeah, Sirens is the left side, and the Angry Apes are on the right side.
The Angry Apes on the right side. The Sirens team comp seems to be heavily focused into just surviving. The Orianna Ezreal providing an amazing backup plan for late game. The Garen just being a genuinely crazy champion at the moment with Stride being able to go tanky, or just a more full damage build. And the Kayn I do not like on the side of Sirens. But going to Apes, the Camille Rise, I'm not sure. The Camille does go well into Garen, and she can win that lane. The Rise doesn't really add anything to the team here.
I mean, yeah, I agree. The Rise doesn't add much, but you're just picking comfort. You're just picking what you enjoy. I don't always expect teams to have the most like thought out drafts or comps. We're not the highest level, and most of the time you're just picking something that says, I think we can do well. I think we can get through laning phase, and I think we can go into like team fighting. And that's when we'll excel. And you can see that in their thought process with their picks, right? Sejuani, Leona, they're gonna engage, and there's just follow up, and that's all they need to do just to deal damage. I guess without the Rise, they might feel like they don't have the damage necessary to pop off, but I think there are other mid laners. I'm just trying to think of what mid laners exist. Like, I don't know, even an Ari. Just doesn't really matter. Like, Rise is just not the most popular pick right now.
Something like a Zoe could work really well here into Orianna if Legend was confident on it. Just being a good long-range damage champ, able to just destroy entire teams if set up right, especially with a front line like Sejuani Leona. No one could have gotten onto them. The Rise is definitely not a bad pick by any means. It would just be interesting to see how it plays into an Orianna and seeing what kind of lead it can get.
Yeah.
This is all gonna. I would say this plays out similarly to last game. On the side of Apes, the team fighting is extremely strong with the Leona Sejuani. But they also need an early lead for a few of their champs. Camille only really wants to get to late game with all of her items, and Rice wants to hit the mid game really hard. But the Lucian just wants to roll over the early game, mid game, and try not to go too far into that late game, because that Ezreal is just going to start doing damage.
Yeah, with the help of like Sejuani Leona, that combo, they can just roam around, or that Sejuani gank in the bot lane, it should be a guaranteed kill every time. It's just auto Q, and then Sejuani pretty much instantly gets her stun off. It's really easy to execute a gank with Sejuani Leona. It's one of the like my favorite combos in this game.
Indeed. I will have to stop talking just for a second, but I shall be back before the game starts, and we will hype this one up to be quite an interesting fight this time round.
Alright, we'll be back in about 40-50 seconds. Hello, and we are back with Mega Sirens and Angry Apes.
In this amazing clash of the games, we have Angry Apes on the red side and Sirens taking control of the blue sides this time round. Some things we did want to point out. Ezreal has chosen to opt in cleanse this game to deal with the Sejuani and Leona CC.
It's an interesting choice.
It's
a fair choice.
It's an incredibly good choice. It stops Camille being able to just jump him, Rise cannot just W him. Leona and Sejuani have to be careful how they layer their CC, because if they just burst everything, Ezreal can just cleanse and E away and just run and start poking again.
Can you cleanse Camille ult though?
You cannot cleanse the Camille ult, you can cleanse the Camille E. And that will allow him to E far enough to hopefully get back to his team. Unless he gets cocky enough to just run away without seeing it. We see the Kayn opting to do the Raptor start this time round with the Orianna Q. A standard start for Kayn, as he can quickly clear the Raptors, gaining the XP. Especially with the EXP buffs coming out to the Raptors. And we're starting off this game quite slowly. Camille versus Garen top, Orianna versus Rise mid, Kayn versus Sejuani jungle, and Lux Ezreal versus Leona Lucian bot lane. It seems like bot lane's starting to get poked out. Rise rushed to level 2 and just tries to go in on the Orianna, but she's just walking away, taking none of that.
Ooh.
And
Rise
this trade
would not
does
win
not
that
look
trade.
like to be... Rise tries to go in for a trade, but just gets told to walk away by this Orianna's balls.
Yeah, minion damage this early on in the game is huge. Just sitting that far in the wave and taking 3 minion shots, that's about like 40-50 damage a second. It adds up.
It adds up, but that Orianna damage just coming out just melted him, and I see why. She opted to start corrupting pot. Getting that burn is massive in the early game. While Rise only opted for a tier, so while his damage will grow significantly, he just doesn't have that early burst that something like D-Ring can offer.
Yeah, Rise is not winning out this lane after that that decision to trade that early on. Without that sustain, like you can see, Orianna has taken that corrupting pot and has some biscuits, so Rise is gonna struggle to stay in the lane.
Kayn has already cleared most of his top side, looking for a top side gank on the overextended Camille. Or is he? No, he's choosing to instead opt for the Scuttle Crab. But the low health Sejuani is just telling him to back off. I feel like he could have tried to fight the Sejuani here. And we're getting a gank mid lane.
On her own. We'll get
and it
stunned
seems
up.
like the Rise pulls off the stun, and that's a kill early going over to Sejuani. Camille manages to get out topside as well, so this is just an overall loss for the Sirens. Bot lane walking up to help secure the Scuttle Crab as well. This just does not seem like a good game for Sirens in the early game at all.
Yeah, the gold lead has increased to 1k all of a sudden, and I don't know how.
The one kill, the Scuttle Crab, it all starts to add up. But we gotta remember from the last game, that gold can be closed up pretty quickly. And it seems like they're going in top lane. The flash coming out from the Kayn, but Camille just ease away. I must note though that the Camille does not have flash. She opted instead for the Ignite TP for incredible pressure. But if she does get caught out at any time, she's just going to die. Garen missing the cannon top lane, and Camille also missing it.
Yeah.
Why are we commentating this? Because nothing else is really happening at the moment in
I'm
this
just
game.
watching, and Sejuani's just chilling in the bottom side jungle, taking Kane's Krugs.
Invading, and the Ezreal getting caught out, going on the Lux
Amora
instead,
does
a
get
good
stunned up,
choice.
but yeah, they switch targets. Amora does flash away, and safety in that. We do need to remember, 7 does have that cleanse.
7 does have the cleanse, but the flash gone on Lux is massive. She can't flash away twice from the Leona's engage, and I don't think she can live from another one as well.
No, we should see a repeat gank coming up soon. BB Panda is pushing that lane very, very hard in.
Kane is starting to roam to the bot side, see that his Krugs are taken and not knowing what to do. Sejuani just opting to go to a top side, maybe do a full clear and then try and go back bot lane.
Yep.
Mid lane is just poking each other's out. Ryze just hitting this Orianna like it's nothing. Getting her into kill range potentially. Camille having to TP back to lane as Garen is just standing there back at full health. The regeneration coming from him just outdoing anything Camille did to him in the past.
I'd love to see a repeat gank in the top lane right now. Sejuani is opting towards the top side, and there is vision of that. Kane is walking towards as well. I think Kane may have been spotted out by that ward, so Sejuani's just looking to go back and take her Krugs.
Once again, nothing is really happening at the moment. Orianna pushing in mid, even though there's nothing really gain, and Leona's in mid as well. Misses the E, flashes anyway. Yeah, and the kill goes back over. That's the second death on the Orianna. This is scary this time round. She still has the TP, so she doesn't miss out on much.
Yeah, but we could see another gank mid again.
But this is just leading to a huge tempo shift. The gold lead has nearly become 2k. Ryze getting the river plant just to regain some mana and health. Opting to go back to lane instead of trying to... No, he's looking to roam bot. Doesn't know what to do.
Amora does get caught out. Amora might die. Does get stunned up.
Amora gets stunned. Yeah,
Ryze will TP in.
Come in. And the kill should go over to Ryze here. Yep, the Kane looking to see what he can do, but he can do nothing but watch as his support dies in front of him.
This is what we call playing around flashes.
Yeah, the flash plays are amazing. The coordination by monkeys this game is amazing.
Not monkeys, apes. Angry apes.
Apes, monkeys, all the same in the end. Orianna trying to gain vision over the wall. Kane goes in, trying to get the steal, but all that he is stealing is the hearts of the enemies as he gives them another kill. That was a ballsy play, but did not work out for him in the end.
Yeah, the way you should be going about that is, with Kane, you can look in with your, like, little phase in, phase out mode. And you can have a peek and see where it's at, and if it's looking to be a little high, you just leave it.
It was at 2k HP when he went in, but he went into 4 players, including Sejuani and Leona. You have to respect the fact that if you just walk into this team, they can just CC you without any remorse. Bot lane seems to just be staying there, pushing into red side. Mid lane's pushing into blue, and top lane is just at a stalemate at the moment. But overall, this is nearly a 3k gold lead by Apes. Like, this is such an early advantage. It just depends what they're trying to build here. Looking at the items, Ryze has opted in to go for his mythic next, getting the Sorcerer's Shoes. Camille got the early Sheen. It looks like that Sejuani is going for the Chem tank, and bot lane is going in. Ezreal chose to hold his cleanse, but had to blow his flash because of it. Maybe a misplay.
Yeah, I mean, flashing in, or like E-ing in, looking to do damage, and realizing, nope, you're gonna get stunned straight away.
Lucian just shooting this Lux under tower. Unfortunately, the stopwatch comes out,
and Amora gets it.
Actually kills him.
I didn't expect that one.
Actually getting the clutch ult.
I did not expect that one.
The Debatee has become debated.
Mold
But
does.
that was a massive kill on Delusion. Unfortunately, Ezreal did not get an assist on that, and Leona seems to want to try to 1v1 this Ezreal.
It's possible.
It is, with the cleanse still up, I highly doubt it. And we're going back to more of a slow game. Sejuani opted to start the Rift Herald, her base damage plus her E damage, making short work of his HP over time. Rise coming up as well as Kane is looking to see what is going on
They
up
do
there.
know Kane is there, so Kane shouldn't look to start anything. This is not
Kane
a good
has
position.
Kane has decided to walk it, and
Kane-
the Sejuani ult comes out, and he just pops like a balloon. This is not looking like a good game for Kane. He is falling behind fast without a chance of reprieve. The only kill on the side of Sirens going over to their support. This is looking like the game may nearly be over, even though it's only 10 minutes in.
Orianna is
Especially with-
walking bot. We may see a play right
Orianna's-
here.
Orianna's walking bot, unfortunately, does not find Dilution. The Rise just being able to push in, getting the plating, and dropping the Rift Herald. He may have been able to drop this later to get another play.
Amora does get rooted. Flash is available. Will flash away early. And then we see the screen switch to mid lane anyway. Squishy does get chunked. Squishy is going low.
Squishy is nearly dead. But as bot lane had to flash away again, this Rise just got 4 free plates. That is 640 free
Oh!
gold going, and he's flashing in, but the minion blocks
One more
him.
Q. Does miss
And the
Ben.
flash coming out?
Feminine does jump in on Rise. Rise.
No!
Oh
he's
no!
screwed up.
Oh
He's,
no!
The TP goes in. Give
Oh!
this to the Rise. Yeah, this Rise is now a monster. There is nothing they can do. He is 3-0-3 at 11 minutes. If he had a Dark Seal, this game may have been over. But Lucian having to flash to the bot lane and use his heal just to survive. There is not much, and the ult coming out from Ezreal, him just barely living. And it looks like the Leon is coming around with the Sejuani.
Leona will Q. Sejuani will come
and
in.
the ult misses,
Does
but
get
it does
rooted.
not.
7 will get stunned up right now, and kill goes to Spirit Boys.
Even though the solar flare was an eclipse and completely missed the Ezreal, it does not matter. The Sejuani just CCing him for a year with the Leona.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
that's what I was
Leona got
saying,
everything off as well. That Q hit, that E hit. It's just, it's an easy time for them to get that hard lockdown.
And this is what I was saying earlier, like, there was such strong damage on the side of Sirens, but Apes just have so much CC, and their only goal is to try and win early and mid to get to that late game fantasy with Camille and Rise. But that doesn't even matter because the Rise has already hit his fantasy 13 minutes into the game, picking up his Ludens. And noticing Camille has also picked up her Trinity Force. That's 2 mythics to 0.
Amora does get hit up again. 7 will get
Amora
stunned.
gets hit up. The glacial prison trapping that Ezreal into place and just getting destroyed. Leona flashing
Amora
in.
stunned up yet again. Ult does come out. Beta
But
does,
he
die.
kill Amora and Orianna.
Squishy
killing
will
the
get
Ezreal.
stunned up for days. You cannot escape the Sea Siege prison.
And then the Rise also picking up the Kane in the backlines as Sejuani and Leona just chasing down this Orianna. There is no way to get out of that. This is just looking at as an unfortunate game.
Yeah, crowd control is big.
Crowd control is huge here. I was hoping to see a few mech treads coming out on champions like Kane or Orianna just to try and subsidize his damage, but they decided to go more damaging boots like Sorcerers.
I mean, if death is imminent, might as well try to do as much damage as you can.
The death is imminent, but with champions like Sejuani and Leona, the damage falls off hard the longer the game goes. So as long as they have some way out, I'd be surprised not to see a Mikhails come out of this Lux's second item. Or some kind of anti-CC from someone on the team. just to try and save one of these carries.
I mean, there's so much CC. Which one do you want to cleanse off?
There's so much CC. I guess it's just the situation that depends. But that's all situations at the moment, and it may never actually be realized. Apes are 7.2 gold up, K gold up. Their champions are just late game monstrosities, and they're just growing stronger and stronger. The weakest link being Delusion. But even he is having an even time and not feeling much pressure. The Garen and the only champion on Sirens not to die, and even he's starting to look a bit risky with this Camille.
They are searching for Amora again. Amora does get solar flared. Legend.
Amora gets solar flared, but the Kane just jumping in.
Kane does get a shutdown.
The shutdown coming through. Delusion ult completely missing the Kane.
Orianna is coming from the top side, coming in. Maybe she can find a pick right here.
This was a 1-for-1, but this was a massive win for Siren, getting the shutdown on their Kane. Even though he's behind at the moment, even some of these shutdowns can start boosting him up. Hopefully we do not see a... It is a blue Kane, my mistake. But blue Kane, and he is building into lethality this time round. Something I am very happy about from the last time. If you're behind on blue Kane, like, it's good to try and build Godrink on Tanky, but if you're going that far, you should just get red Kane.
3-man ganking the top lane. Can BB Panda survive? No, she cannot.
Absolutely not. Panda just turning into an endangered species, being hunted down by a guy just throwing orbs at her, a woman with knives for legs, and someone riding an exotic animal. I've heard of a zoo, but this is ridiculous.
How far do you want this analogy to go?
Meanwhile,
Feminine does get caught by Camille. Camille will go down, and there's nothing you can do when you're trapped in that prison.
Kane just going back to the zoo analogy, just being trapped in a cage. But this is exactly the game plan that Apes must have wanted. Deluxe trying to one-shot this Rise, but only doing half his health with a full combo.
The only answer to me is more damage.
The only answer is more damage, but they're not going to be able to do more damage to someone like Leona and Sejuani, who are just tanking it up. Sejuani opting in for the Aegis over something like Chemtank, just pushing that big damage over tankiness or utility. Going into Bramble second, just to try and mitigate some of this healing that is not coming out of anyone. But it doesn't really matter, even if they don't have healing, because no one can kill this Sejuani.
Going for that classic TFT build.
The classic TFT build.
Sunfire Bramble. That's the good stuff right there.
A good time. But it looks like Squishy getting eat by the Rise, but nothing coming out of it. Mid lane tower falling down. Garen being able to push up, but getting the TP from Rise.
We're at 10,000 gold at 18 minutes.
10,000 gold lead at 18 minutes. There should be no realistic way that Apes lose this game with such a huge lead. But it is important to note that all of this gold is situated into their Sejuani and Rise.
I mean, there's a CS differential across the board as well. There's 50 CS ahead in the Camille. We see 30 or about 20 for that Sejuani, and Rise is 60. I think a lot of it is literally in CS.
The only hope that Sirens has is for this Ezreal to reach his Duskblade Mana Moon and just try and start doing damage. But even then, this Camille walking in, just killing Squishy. Like nothing is wrong in the world.
It will be a 2v1, but I don't know if Feminine can even survive this. Mold is level 13. Feminine will get stunned up.
Camille is a monster. The Sejuani coming down being like, I'm here to help. But Camille just stabbing them without a care in the world. Rift Herald going down mid. Deluxe ult hitting Lucian, but it doesn't matter. This is a second tower down as the gold lead just grows to 12k.
That's a 3-man stun right there. One will go down. Amora's down. BB Panda does drop. Beta versus 7. 7 does survive, but that's a 2 for nothing in the mid lane right now.
Just Rise weaving in those Qs, just hitting the enemies, dealing a bonkers amount of damage with his Ludens. I cannot see how this Rise can die. How does Camille or Sejuani can just not go in and survive 100% of the
Right
time?
now?
But I was wrong. The Rise getting caught out.
Can Rise 2v1
Overextending.
flashes away?
The Leona coming down to help him. And this was their only chance to kill the Rise, and they did not have the damage for it. Orianna and Kayn both going down as the team follows up. The Rise may have been overextending, but he's so far ahead that he just doesn't care. The Lux trying to stop recalls, but it doesn't even matter. The only objective up at the moment is Baron. And I think they could honestly take that down in seconds with their team. We've gotten to the 20-minute mark, and the only two champions without mythics yet are Lux and Garen's on the side of Sirens, and the Ezreal, who opted in to go for the Essence Reaver first item. The Garen has now picked up a Stride Breaker. But these people are just picking up their first mythics. The side of Apes are already getting their second item, third items. Rise has already built his Zhonya's and his Zeref's Embrace. But his mana pool is going for the roof, having 3.8k mana at 21 minutes, only going to increase as the game goes on.
This is looking interesting.
It's looking interesting. They're pushing down mid lane now. They're going to be knocking on the doors.
We're definitely looking to some sort of end coming up soon. Just depends on how they want to go about it. If they're funneling through the mid lane, they're going to go through one of the other lanes.
The most realistic strat they can take is just putting Rise and Camille in side lanes and just having the Sejuani, Leona, Lucian pushing down the mid.
Sejuani just walks around with no care, especially with that
Sejuani-
passive up.
If Sejuani chooses to get a Warmog, I don't think anyone's going to be able to damage her. But like I said, you see the three of them going mad with the Camille choosing to split bot lane and the Rise going top. They cannot stop Rise or Camille in 1v1s, they need to send multiple members, but the moment they do, they're just going to push in and take these inhibs. They're being completely zoned out of their base. We have three people standing in the mid, Garen going top, trying to stop this Rise, but one misstep and you might actually die. Ezreal ulting down mid, hitting the Lucian Sejuani. But it does not matter.
Oh, BB Panda looking low, and it's that range is something really hard for the side of Sirens to deal with.
Rise is considered a short range mage as well, but at this point he could be any range he wants to be. He just walks in.
That
Leona
is the
coming in
solo
now?
player, and Leona KSing as usual.
At this point, a Chaos on Leona does not really matter.
Definitely
And looking
not.
at mid, Sejuani is being caught out by 3 members. The Orianna is still having her shockwave. The Ebola coming out. Getting the Orianna Squishy is dead. Their only major teamfighting CC is gone. And that will be a clean ace for Apes as they take out the game. They're going for the full clear of their base 100% anytime, taking out all 3 inhibs. A 23-minute game as the second game of the day. Kayn coming in, trying to kill Sejuani, getting the 1k shutdown on it. A near perfect game for this Sejuani being ended. But it doesn't matter as Apes take game 2.
That will be GG.